The songwriter's temper. The sound of knocks at the door is holding a catastrophe. In this darkness and this heavy rain, every movement seems terrifying. I rushed expecting to find the Antichrist at the door requesting me to follow the new religion or executing me. But when I opened the door, I found Michael, a friend I knew a little, even though I see him every day for 9 hours. Sparks were flying from his eyes, and I thought, if I saw the devil in flesh, it would seem more normal, but life has never been fair to meet our expectations. I invited him into the cave I live in. I found a chair belongs to the ancient Roman era, with a broken leg. Either he sits on it, or on the floor. He chose the latter for unclear reason. Now, dear Michael, you can start telling me why you are here. He opened his mouth to talk, but I interrupted him and asked, "What do you want to drink?" He said tea. I looked at him grudgingly and told him that tea hadn't been in my cave since 7,000 years. He seemed unduly surprised and asked for water. "Now you are talking," I replied. He took a sip of water from the glass, and I was surprised by his disgust when he saw a bug stuck at the bottom of it. "We are not in a hotel," I told him. "Now, dear Bad Omen, let's hear what you have to say." He looked at the ceiling for a moment to gather his thoughts, and looked exactly like a lizard in the desert in stop-motion technique. He started talking, and what he said was extremely weird. "I woke up in the morning, my sweet lady. Found it was raining, and my heart was shady. It is not summer, I swear, gorgeous, and we've never been to Paris. Lady, several years have gone, and my heart can't be yours anymore. Sorry, but you are tedious. So, what are your thoughts?" He asked. "My thoughts of what exactly?" I wondered. "Of course, I mean your initial thoughts of the prelude of the song I'm writing. You are a songwriter, and your mission is to evaluate the songs of others. And, as my friend, you should show more interest in what I say. Anyway, have you noticed the rhyme, lady, shady, really deep words, with a tender sense and smooth transition, not like the trivial lyrics we hear these days? How many singers use such words in their songs? I bet even Ed Sheeran didn't think about using them, and that is what creativity means. Now I need you to help complete the rest of the song." I remembered having old shoes, incubated more than 10 generations of spiders, a crocodile, 2 endangered eagles, thousands of displaced rats. Their heels were made of steel, and their skin looked like a warrior's armor. But I really didn't hesitate for a second to see it hitting this Michael's face. I played cool as I approached the shoe, and said, "Sounds promising song, really promising. For sure, it will crack the center of earth for the greatness it embraces." Then, I took his shoe, and drew number 42 on his right cheek. He lost speech by the strike, and his face was boiling like a volcano. I explained furiously, "You are not, but a fugitive animal, dead cockroach, an escaping frog, a decayed worms, and absolutely a pathetic tiny fragment of a tiny mosquito. Do you think I give a damn about your nonsense? Is there a sign on the door telling that I welcome people or friends? No, of course no. Now get out of here, and just go to your insignificant planet you came from." He slammed the door behind him violently. His dignity was sure insulted. And he definitely lost me forever, but I didn't care. This is not worse than this cave-like disgusting house I live in, not worse than the sound of my void pockets and my always empty stomach, not worse than an amputee bird with nightmares like me. After the revolution of my rage calmed down, and the ominous cloud traveled far from my mind, I looked from the broken window to the clouds and the sky. The view was stunning, and I was inspired by a wonderful poem. I would write it later, and it would make a fuss in the world. Amateurs would rush to compose it and post it on YouTube. But first I must find some money to buy a new pen and notebook.